He was like, Andrew. I was like, what? He goes, if when you were 18, they told you could be one of the richest, most famous men on earth, with street cred in every single city that knows how to speak English, all you had to do was sit in jail for 2 months, would you have taken it? I was like, yeah. He goes, and what the fuck do you care for? It's like, true. I would have taken that. He goes, I know he used to say that, what kind of man hasn't been to jail? That's what he's saying. He used to say, what kind of man hasn't been to jail? He loved jail. He was loving it all the time. He goes, what kind of man hasn't been to jail? Of course I've been to jail. I'm Tristan Tate. Of course I go to jail. But he didn't care. And his energy was amazing to tap into. But we both understand that neither of us could be us without the other one's polar. And that's why we live together. That's why we'll always live together. I've had a lot of women try and say, why do you still live with your brother? Why don't you want to live with me? Da-da-da. And I try and explain to them that, one, I don't think I can be my most competitive without him. Two, I'm most emotionally stable with him. I like the idea. I'm most competitive with him. I'm my best version of me. If it doesn't matter if I have to go into a fight, doesn't matter if I have to run a business, I'm better with Tristan by my side than I would be by myself. And three, my ideal family life, even my ideal family, the way I live my life now, is very much more like a clan than a nuclear family. I like me, my girl, my kids, Tristan, his girl, his kids, my cousin, his girl, his kids.
I like the direction Pat was going with this about, do you want relationships or sex with a woman? Quick anecdote. Your friend Myron, Fresh and Fit, we just did a big live event 3 days ago. It was myself, Myron, Fresh, we're sitting on a panel, 20 women. And he goes, watch this. Masterclass, Andrew, masterclass. He asked all the women on the panel, average 25-year-old woman, you tell me the amount of sexual partners she's had. What's the body count? And these women give a wide range of, the 3, 10, 15, 20. One girl said 100. Numbers were crazy. Goes down the list. Ask all you, okay, great. Ladies, show of hands. How many of you want a man with more sexual experience than yourself? Every single girl put their hand up. And they said, yeah, I want a man with more experience than myself. And the reason this came about was because Ben Shapiro reacted to a video of me questioning Myron. All right, when should a man get married? And he basically gave a checklist. You need to make $100 grand a year. You need to have slept with 50 women. You need to have 6 to 12 months of savings. A checklist. And Ben Shapiro was like, that's disgusting. This is a guy that married the first person that he had sex with. And it was incredible to see every woman validate everything that Myron was saying and everything that you were saying about experience.
Oh, women respect experience. In fact, I saw on a TV show, and this was like 10 years ago, and I have no idea what the show was, but it was a show about, it was on Channel 4 in the UK, and it was a show about sex and da-da-da. 85% of virgin women would rather sleep with a man who'd already had sex than a virgin man.
Wow.
A virgin woman doesn't even want a man with the same level of experience. You're respected for your level of sexual experience. And women are naturally demonized for their level of sexual experience. And even the ones in the West who pretend that's not true, the ones who are fully psyoped, wait till they see a girl they don't like. But I remember it was New Year's Eve. When I was first picked up on the 29th of December, I was very sure I'd be out in 24 hours. I was like, there's no way they're gonna keep me. For what? Like, this doesn't make sense. So finally New Year's Eve rolls around, and I'm sitting in the jail cell by myself. And in Romanian jail, you don't leave the room. It's not like an American jail where there's a yard or anything. You're stuck in the room. It's 3x4, and that's your existence. You just stay in the room.
Are you by yourself?
24
or
hours
Tristan?
a day. At the beginning, I was by myself. And you're stuck in this room, and I'm sitting there. It's New Year's Eve, and there's a very faint speaker, maybe way down the hallway. The guards must have been having a little party for New Year's Eve. And there's this awful song. It's called the Ketchup song. I don't know if you know what it is. I don't want to sing it, but it goes, hey, hey,
of course.
That super annoying song. And I'm sitting there, and I know it's New Year's Eve because the fireworks start going off. And I'm looking out my tiny window, and I can just hear in the very long distance from the end of the hallway, hey, hey. And I'm sitting there looking out the window like, this can't be it. This can't be the end of my life. Even the cockroaches all over the walls didn't celebrate. There was maybe 15 cockroaches on the walls, right? And when it struck 12 and the fireworks went off, I kind of like, well, who's my friends in here? The cockroaches. I looked at them, even they didn't move. I was like, well, that's New Year's. It's funny because before that, a couple days before that, me and Tristan were discussing, do we want to do New Year's in Dubai? Do we want to go Courchevel? Shall we go Miami? We're all arguing, oh, that'll be boring. That's too far. We had all these grandeur plans. Oh, finally we decided to go to Dubai. we were in Czech Republic at the time, and we decided to go to Dubai, and I said, let's stop in Romania so I can repack a suitcase. So
That's it. That's the only reason.
That's the only reason. So jet left Prague, landed in Romania. My jet was still on the runway. Came here overnight to pack a suitcase, spent the night, spoke to Greta with a pizza box, and it's 5 a.m. they got me before I flew back to Dubai. So that was my
The infamous Greta pizza box situation.
How does it make sense a man with no criminal record, who is financially successful, decides to begin to human traffic at 35 years of age? I have no financial motivation. It's clearly not my personality profile. I don't need money. Why have I begun to human traffic from nowhere? It doesn't even make any sense from a pure logical perspective. There's no motive to the crime. Who have I human trafficked? Who is the victim? There's no victims and there's no motive. And here I am on house arrest. It's insane. So yeah, it's genuinely intimidating. I don't know what's going to happen next. I believe they're going to try and charge me with the garbage they have. And I think what they're trying to do is just hang it over my head and keep me afraid.
Do you think the idea of trying to either silence you or make you irrelevant is working? Meaning, do you think you're more relevant today than you were on September 1st? Is that strategy they're implementing working?
No, they're failing. And the reason they're failing is because God's put me in a position where I have to lead from the front. I think that in the days of old, when politics used to mean something, I believe in politics as long as the leader of the country charges on his horse at the enemy at the front. Then you're allowed to be king. Then I'll listen to your laws. That's politics. When you send other people's kids to die in a war and you sit on your ass, that's not politics to me. But now I'm in a position where I'm spearheading, by God's plan, the rights of basically every man on earth. They could do this to anybody. So I think any man with a brain who's thinking is looking at my position and going, they could hit me or my friends or my son or my dad the same way they're hitting this guy. And that builds a degree of affinity amongst my audience. So no, they've failed. They've failed and they've made a hero out of me, which is what I'm actually scared of.